These 4 fragrances from the house of Moresque Perfumes are very expensive with some very nice packaging. But I'm here to answer the question for you. Are they really worth the money? Hello guys, welcome back. And today we're gonna go over 4 Moresque fragrances. I'm gonna tell you who they're for, what season they're made for, the performance, and most of all, are any of them worth it, or is the house itself worth the purchase? So the fragrance we're gonna go over is Fior di Portofino. We're gonna go over White Duke, this is a very interesting fragrance. It reminds me of 2 other fragrances from another popular house. We're gonna go over Oro. And the last fragrance in this lineup is Oud Musk. The packaging, I'm gonna just show you one. All of them has like their own design. It comes in this nice case, pull out sleeve, it sits in the case. And I gotta tell you, the packaging and bottle, the designs is very outstanding, just like this one for example. But that really don't matter, it's the fragrance inside, it's not that good. The first one we're gonna go over is Fior di Portofino. And I already sprayed this on. This is probably my favorite smell of all of them, but this is probably the least niche out of the 4. First thing you're gonna get is a fresh thing of citruses and fruits of orange. You're gonna get some bergamot, and the top of it is very, very powdery. I guess the iris is coming up front. So once it reaches the heart, that's when you get some spices from basil, make it very green and spicy. And you're gonna get floral notes of mimosa. Followed up in the base, you're gonna get vetiver that give it like a clean green freshness of it. Now this is definitely a fall, spring, summer scent. It's definitely a unisex fragrance, maybe leaning a little bit more feminine with the floral notes. I got probably 6 to 8 hours on it, so you're gonna get nice wear, projection, maybe 1 to 2 feet of projection. And like I said, these are very expensive fragrances, and at the end I'm gonna tell you, do I think they're worth it? It's a nice fragrance, and that is Fior di Portofino. Next one up is the one that I seen some high remarks on it, and it's actually the one that made me want to try this house out. By the way, all these were blind buys, and yeah, I spent a lot of money just for some blind buys. But the next one up is Oud Musk. Now first thing up, you get a note that's not listed, which is that leather. I guess it's the saffron that's smelling like leather. And all these notes in here are very simple to me. I don't pick up with probably 3 notes in it. I get that oud that's kind of woody. Then in the base, I'm getting a lot of smoking notes from that lapdamum, that tolu balm. Then finally, I start to get some of that ginger during the dry down. This is definitely a winter, fall fragrance. Kind of heavy. That's woody, it's smoky, and it's very leathery. And that's Oud Musk. Next we're gonna do is Oro. By the way, I think this is probably my favorite bottle of the 4. Very nice bottle, I like the ridges on it, gold, with the black top at the cap. Now at the top of this, first thing you're gonna get is the Angelica note, that making it musky, kind of earthy. Then it goes into the heart, you get styrax that giving it like a sweet balsamic touch. In the base, there's also a smoky fragrance in the base with frankincense, myrrh, lapdamum. This definitely is a masculine fragrance in my opinion. Made for winter, falls. You're gonna get good projection on it. 2 feet projection. I got probably 10 hours of wear on it. So it's a nice performing fragrance. It's green, it's smoky, and it's resinous. And that's Oro from the house of Moresque. The last one on this list is White Duke. It's probably my favorite when you combine the smell, the niche quality of it, but to me it's too similar to another house. Now the top of this is very lovely. I get sage, I get bergamot, I get a spicy geranium at the top of the fragrance. Amber comes up, also a note that I'm very familiar with, and that's that opoponus. The base is followed up with an earthy patchouli. You get some minor smoke from some frankincense, making this fragrance spicy, resinous, woody, and slightly earthy. And I tell you fragrance it put me in the mind of, you take Unwatched Interlude, mix it with Overture Man from Unwatched also, and it's a mix of those fragrances. Probably my favorite out the line, although it smells similar to the other ones. This is definitely a fall winter scent. Matter of fact, most of them are fall and winter with the exception of the first one. Performance, you're gonna get 10 hours, masculine. You're gonna get probably a 2 feet radius, and it has good sillage on this. Like I said, all these were blind purchase. And before I give you my honest opinion on it, for some reason I seem to lose followers when I tell the truth about a fragrance when it's not that great or when the house is not that great. But I spent my money on it and I'm trying to keep you from wasting your money. But everybody had their own opinions, and every fragrance ain't gonna be a fairy tale fragrance because every fragrance is not great to me. But in my opinion, this house is not worth it. If I had got my hands on either one of these fragrances, I wouldn't have made a purchase of them. But since I do have them, I will give them wear. But for an example, if it's something I want to make an impression on, like an example, last night I went out to eat. I want to wear one of them just to give me a last minute impression on them. So I put them up to my nose, smelled all of them. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to wear them. They're not bad fragrances, but it's nothing popping, nothing eye-popping, nothing catching. Just something that's, to me, they smell like great quality fragrances, but they don't develop on my skin like I expected them to, especially the price that I paid for them. If you smelled them before and you enjoy them, you know, purchase them, but please do not buy any one of these fragrances. But ranking them, White Duke is probably my favorite one. I didn't own any unwise that I mentioned. I would be very happy with this fragrance, but this is definitely the favorite one of mine. It smells niche, smells good at the same time. My next favorite smell is probably Portofino, but the thing about this, kind of femme leaning, and it's less niche than the rest of them. This smells more like a high-end designer fragrance, but when you talk about the money that you pay for it, you don't want something that smells high-end designer. But good, clean, nice, fresh floral scent that you probably would enjoy. Neither one of them are bad fragrances, but my least favorite probably gonna be Andelus. Just a nice leathery scent, resonance that don't develop well over my skin, but it's a nice fragrance, but one I wouldn't pay for, not at full retail price, not even at discounters. My third favorite is Oro, which is in itself a decent scent, resinous, smoky for the winter time, but again, just a simple basic fragrance that, in my opinion, I only get like 3 notes from it. For the price, nah, I don't think it's worth it. The whole house itself, in my opinion, is not worth it. I actually was gonna purchase one more, but I'm gonna pass on them. That's my opinion. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this honest review and not something that somebody blowing smoke up you know what. But in the meantime, check out this video. Everybody stay safe and come back and see me. I will see you soon. Peace.